All right, so we're on page 11 right now. Page 11, we're going to find slope from a table. And this really kind of is the same thing as we just did with the slope formula. We have to have our x1 and our x2 and our y1 and our y2. So take a look at our table here. Take a look at our table. We can pick any of these out to be x1, x2, y1, y2. I know. That's what it's supposed to be. Slope guy, right? All right, so right here, let's go ahead and just use the first one it tells us. So again, these are all of our x's. These are all of our y's, right? Input, output. So this is going to be our x's. So let's use 0 as our x1. And let's use 20 as our x. What do y'all think? 2. Y'all cool with that? So if that's our x1, what does that have to be? 320. Our y, our y1. Yeah, make sure we turn that off, man. We're doing something here. Our y1. And if that's our x2, what does that have to be? Our y2. Good. All right, now all we have to do really is plug this into our formula. Remember, our formula is parentheses, parentheses, parentheses minus parentheses. All right, what goes up top? What goes in this first box up here, or this first parenthesis? Yeah, y2 minus y1. What's our y2? 220. Good. What's our y1? 320. Oh my gosh. Y'all gotta let me know. My subscribers are gonna unsubscribe. Oh, come on. Y'all, technology, I'm sorry. Oh, this is. See what I can do here to help out the cause. There we go. All right, we're good. We're back at it. We're back at it. Yeah, maybe. So what goes on the bottom part? Yeah, our x2 minus our x1. So our x2 is 20 minus 0. And so now we just plug this into our calculator exactly the way it says. So parentheses. So again, I did this last video if you hadn't seen. But you go to your calculator and you press the fraction button. And then from there you put your parentheses in exactly the way it says. So 220 minus 320. Press down. And then the bottom you put parentheses 20 minus parentheses 0. And what is the answer? Did y'all get? Negative 5. So our slope is going to be negative 5. Boom, there it is, negative 5. So, excellent, excellent, excellent. Any questions on that? No? Feel pretty good about it? That's what I like to hear. We'll do A and B pretty quickly, and then I want to jump into some individual work here. All right? So A and B should be, again, just doing these pretty quick, setting these up pretty quick. You can use any of these as your x1, x2, y1, y2. Just make sure that it's consecutive. Okay, make sure it's consecutive. So if we want to use 0, we can do that. Let's do this. Let's go our x1 right here. x1 equals 4. Our x2 equals 10. Our y1 equals negative 62, and our y2 equals negative 152. We plug this into our formula. Parentheses minus parentheses parentheses minus parentheses. For time's sake, I'm going to have one of my students in class do the calculations. So what goes in the boxes up top? Y2, so negative 152. And then y1, negative 62. And then on the bottom, our x2, which is 10 minus 4. Y always goes on top. Good question. It's always y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. We'll have to do a shout out to Coach Sparks here. Coach Sparks had to take a test on this about 10 years after he finished all of his math courses. And I remember him asking me about, hey man, what is slope form? Like, I remember him asking me that after the test. So it actually came back and he had to use this on a test 10 years later after high school. It was pretty interesting. Negative 15? The answer is negative 15. Once you plug that into your calculator. Good. Negative 15. Shout out to Zion right there for putting it in the calculator.
Hi guys.
There it is. Maybe Zion will do our outro in a second. All right. For the last one here, again, we can choose any x1, x2 here. Just, again, make sure that it's consecutive. And really, to be honest with you, it doesn't have to be consecutive, but just for this sake, we can do that. All right, so let's do this one. Let's go x1 equals 18, x2 equals 29. If that's my x1, what has to be my y1? The one next to it, exactly right. In this case, I mean, they're all 9s, right? So it kind of doesn't matter at that point, but it's good to know. So we have our parentheses minus our parentheses over parentheses minus our parentheses. What goes up top there? 9, yeah, 9 minus 9, good. What goes on bottom? No, not 18 minus 29, but 29 minus 18. I put negative 18, I'm sorry. Positive 18, it should be a positive 18. Remember, it's always your x2 goes first. So y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So that's why 29 goes first, because that's our x2. Y2 always goes first up top, and then y1. On the bottom, it's always x2 first, and then x1. And the answer is what? 0. Yeah, there's a 0 slope, right? So that means really this line is just going to be nice and flat. That's what that means. A 0 slope is when the line doesn't go up. It's not positive. It's not negative. It is a flat line. Okay? Questions, concerns on here? Does anybody want to do our outro? Go ahead. Come on. You got to come over here and do it. All right. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Got an outro coming up.
Okay. Oh, now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching our videos. Make sure to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up.